Today we have Josh Lafazan, and he is one of the youngest legislators ever. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Good. When I found out about your political career, I asked you backstage, were you also in the student council? And what was your response?
Sure. So I joked that my career was meteoric. In first grade, I was elected to the student council at Walt Whitman Elementary, and here I am. I fell in love with the concept, and the issues have increased in severity since first grade, and bake sales to now, and dealing with real issues and for the taxpayers. But I fell in love with representative government. That even in first grade, I could use my voice to represent my peers. I think it's a beautiful thing.
So, when you're running for student council and things throughout the year, did you make like your own campaign posters and walk us through those early days?
So what was unique is that my first real election was I was 18 years old. I was senior class president, and I was running for the Syosset School Board. I felt that on a school board of 9, maybe 9 18-year-olds wouldn't make a sound governing structure, but one 18-year-old, with fresh ideas and a unique perspective and the ability to think outside the box would be great. So that campaign was driven by my classmates, and we had no money. I was 18 years old. I was a basketball referee. So we were a campaign on a budget. So we didn't have money for big posters. We would graffiti paint bed sheets and hang them up on fences. We didn't have money for fancy literature. We printed them, in our homes. But a shoestring budget doesn't mean that you can't win, because when you have a group of young people gathered together around the idea that representation matters, you can do anything. And I was elected about 6 weeks before senior prom.
Now, what was one piece of legislation that you got passed by you sitting there? What was maybe one concept or one idea that you said, hey, what if we did it this way, that they greenlighted?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you, being in the legislature, I have a number of issues I care about, but I think serving our veterans is something I really care about. Nassau County had 5,000 veterans, 5,000 who are either homeless, soon to be homeless, or housing insecure. So I sponsored the Dignity for Our Heroes package, where we're actually going to build housing for homeless vets right here in Nassau County. My theory is this: if you go off to war and serve our country, the least we can do is fight just as hard for you when you get home as you did for us. We're going to build that housing here in Nassau County.
To make them safe and secure.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of them that are homeless, you're right. And you see a vet, and maybe they're going through the woods, because there are encampments here on Long Island, and I know all across the United States, but you'll see a veteran coming out of the woods to go to the fast food restaurant just so that they can clean up, maybe have a couple of dollars to buy a little something and freshen up, and then they're going back into the woods and they're living there.
And I'll tell you,
and that's despicable.
I think it serves a larger problem that government should be a place where everyone comes together and where nobody gets left behind. That's what I believe government should be. I'm the grandson of a Holocaust refugee and a Cuban immigrant. Came to this country and built a middle-class life to see their grandson go to Harvard and serve in the legislature. I mean, my grandma said to me, and I'll never forget, she said, "Joshua, you're my version of the American dream."
Wow.
That sticks with me every single time I sit in that chair. And so people need to serve in government, not for the notoriety, not for the perks. People need to serve in government to do good for others. And so when it comes to serving homeless veterans, when it comes to serving and protecting people with disabilities, helping keep young people on Long Island, every day I wake up and I say, how can I make my community better? Because Donna, I have the greatest job in the world.
That's kind of why I did my show. So between you and I, and all of our audience at home all around the globe, when I was 12, I participated in a singing group called the Futures of America. And we would sing for veterans, we would sing for children that were disabled. I mean, so I'm really like you. I'm just a cheerleader, a grown-up cheerleader for people that have causes that need to have a voice. We're the voice sometimes for people that no longer have the ability to speak what their needs are. And
you continue, and I'm a huge fan, so I can speak with authority here, as is my mother, Sandy, who's watching.
That's so sweet.
You continue to lead with optimism, and I believe I do the same thing. And so people say, Josh, I hope you don't lose, I hope you don't get cynical. Right. Serving in government is very frustrating. It moves at a glacial pace, and not everybody is on the same page in terms of serving with integrity and dignity. But I will not lose my sense of youthful exuberance, and I will not lose my sense of optimism, because people are relying on us. People at home watching the show are relying on you for a sense of relief, for a sense of joy and purpose, and to learn. And I know when young people see me sitting in that chair, it matters to them that they can serve as well. So I promise my constituents and everyone watching today that I love what I do, and I'll continue to get up every morning and serve with righteousness and dignity. It's been a dream come true.
Did you go back to your grade school? Did you go back to Walt Whitman, and did they have you be like a guest speaker and things?
I'll do you one better. Miss
Okay.
Miss Wiest, who is my
Yes.
first grade teacher who pushed me to run for student council, I do go back, and she was actually at my election night party.
Oh.
Because to me, educators rule.
Right.
I'm getting my doctorate as we speak.
Congratulations.
And I teach at Long Island University, so I continue to give back. But educators have made a difference in my life. Ms. Esslinger on the forensic speech and debate team taught me to find my voice and taught me how to argue with civility, right? And then my teachers in college, Professor Golden, taught me about protecting people with disabilities and how we have to live up to the Americans with Disabilities Act. All these educators took me under their wing, and it's why I have an internship program of 150 kids. So I can
Fabulous.
continue. I didn't have any big brothers. They were my big brothers and sisters, and now I can give back to these kids.
Well, you know, today's the first day on set too for a lot of the people here because we have interns too, and I just absolutely appreciate them. They offer so much value. So thank you. I wish you continued success.
Thank you.
And if you're doing a ribbon cutting at some store and you want to invite me, I'll be there
We
next
will have
year.
you there,
All right.
and my mom looks forward to meeting you.
Excellent. And I have a special, I see you have lapel pins.
I do.
I have a lapel pin. Please ask Amanda Ramirez to get one out of our cabinet. It says "Live It Up" on it. And take 5. Share them with your friends.
Be proud to wear them.
Thank you so much. Stay tuned for more. We've been living it up. If you want to make a difference in your community, consider running for office. Be well.